Yo, what's going on, guys? JT Goonie back with another weapon review in Destiny 2. Guardians, Season of the Witch has yet another slapper for us today. The Kept Confidence is a fitting name for this 140 RPM hand cannon because the dueling power that it has in PvP gives me the confidence to take it into basically any fight that I choose, whether in PvP or PvE. Now, before you get on my case, I know that I said I probably wouldn't be playing any PvP in my last video, link in the description, for a while, but I just couldn't resist after seeing Cool Guy's video on this hand cannon. I'll leave a link down in the description. You guys should absolutely check out that video for yourselves. And then while you guys are down there, if you leave a comment on what your thoughts are on this hand cannon, have you been liking this specific weapon? How do you feel about the Season of the Witch weapon pool? I'd love to hear all about it. Let's get a conversation going. If we are getting down to brass tacks, there are way better options for 140 hand cannons out there if you absolutely have to use one. Weapons like Fatebringer from the Vault of Glass raid, the Dire Promise, Austringer, and we haven't even talked about exotics like Ace of Spades and Hawkmoon, which do have better base stats in some cases, which isn't to say that the Kept Confidence is bad. I just want you to know that this is a middle of the road 140 hand cannon in the grand scheme of things. I do appreciate that Bungie left it more or less in line with some of the other popular options. So going over the stats, we have an 84 impact, 46 on the range, stability is at 56, which is about average, 45 handling, again, which is about average for this archetype of hand cannon. Reload speed is going to be 40, and it has a 10 round mag, which honestly that 10 round is kind of the sweet spot, especially on a 140 when you're going to be kind of dueling with this thing at medium to kind of medium long ranges, but it's going to shine in that close range. Say what you will about this hand cannon, you will be able to walk away from any fight with ease, and with a 91 recoil direction, it makes this weapon an absolute breeze to use in those medium to long range fights. Like I said, with a lot of the other 140 hand cannons out there, we kind of run into a problem with the Kept Confidence. It's a 140 adaptive frame hand cannon, which means it's going to be reliable when battling at close range, but the further out your opponent gets, the harder it is going to be to get that 3-tap per usual. We can make up for it with our barrel and mag perk options, but expect to take cover if you do have to reload mid-fight due to only having 10 rounds in the magazine. Regardless if you are in PvP or PvE, I would 100% go with Arrowhead Break and Accurize rounds for your barrel and mag perk options. Arrowhead Break giving you a +10 to that handling, keep it nice and sturdy in your hand, as well as putting the recoil direction to a spicy 100, which will make this weapon crazy stable at range. And adding Accurize rounds to the mix will not only give you +10 to the range, but will also send that damage fall off from 29.3 meters all the way out to space at 31.5. So you will be able to engage more longer range targets, but keep in mind, you've only got 10 rounds. As I said before, you've only got 10 rounds, so you have to make those shots count if you're gonna battle at 30, 31, 32, 33 meters out. In perk slot 1, there aren't as many options we were hoping for with this one, but we do have some solid choices. We're gonna start with Quick Draw. Invisible Hand, repeatedly missing targets increases this weapon's stability for a short time, and the buff lasts for a bit after you hit your target. Stats for all, Loose Change, Shot Swap, Air Assault, which your Solar Warlocks are going to absolutely love. I wish I could make use of it on a Hunter, but we can't stay in the air long enough to take advantage of it. Killing Wind, Final Blows increase mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. And I'm looking at you hunters out there, especially you Arc hunters, this is probably going to be the best one for you so you can stay amplified throughout your gunfights. In perk 2, this is where things heat up a little bit, and no heating up is not on this list, sadly. I have the Storm, which should be everyone's top choice for PvP. You've got Thresh, killing enemies will give you a small amount of energy, super energy. Harmony, this is going to be great for PvP and PvE. Pugilist, Gut Shot Straight. Yuck, we don't need that. Don't use this perk. Collective Action is the best perk for PvE and multi-kill clip. Building this weapon for PvE, I would go for a stats for all Thresh roll, giving you a bump to less than stellar base stats just for damaging 3 enemies, +10 stability, +35 handling, and +10 range, and getting super energy from kills is never going to be a bad idea. I could see a weird Guardian somewhere using Loose Change and Pugilist on really any subclass. I will absolutely be trying this combo out on my Arc Titan and Solar Hunter. Getting a faster reload when applying elemental debuffs, and with some melee abilities applying those debuffs, why not get better handling as well? For PvP setups, let's go ahead and talk all about you Trials of Osiris sweats out there. For PvP, keep this weapon as accurate as possible is the name of the game. Top choices for the Crucible should have Invisible Hand and Eye of the Storm as your top choice. You gain stability if you miss a shot, and as your health gets lower while fighting, with this weapon, your accuracy will go way up. You could also use Quick Draw Harmony, which would go great paired with a fusion rifle or an auto rifle in your secondary slot. I really like the way this weapon feels in PvP, so if you like the battler gameplay style, this hand cannon is going to be your best friend. If you want to get your hands on the Kept Confidence hand cannon, all you're going to have to do is grind out the Season of the Witch at seasonal activities or focus those seasonal engrams at Eris's altar. Honestly, I'm going to try to get this one crafted as soon as possible because there's a couple of different roles that I personally want to try out, especially that Loose Change Pugilist role. That sounds absolutely fire for PvE. As a Void Hunter who is constantly applying volatile rounds to the enemies, this is going to be great. This hand cannon is definitely one that splits the seams on what a hand cannon is. You don't have to have an amazing perk pool to put down some very serious damage, and I think a lot of you will get this and think, wow, I have an awful roll on this, but I am still shredding. At least that's what I thought when I used it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps the channel grow, and consider getting subscribed for even more Destiny 2 content. You guys have been great. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you Guardians at the tower.